Hey guys, today in this video I'm going to talk about and show you some basic stretches and mobility exercises you can do to maintain the health of your low back. It's important to know that if you're dealing with a back injury or you're just trying to keep your low back healthy, you want to have good mobility in areas like your upper back and your hips, which include your hamstrings, your hip flexors, and your glutes. So I'm going to show you just a couple exercises you can do to help mobilize and stretch those areas. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is a T-spine foam roll. And so the T-spine just stands for your thoracic spine, which is really your upper back. So to do this exercise, you just want to lay over the foam roll, put the foam roll just below your shoulder blades, have your knees bent up, and then you're going to have your hands behind your head, lift your butt off the floor, and just roll back and forth. And you can roll really anywhere from the bottom of your shoulder blades to the base of your neck. You're just trying to find some tight areas. You can also extend over the foam roll to kind of get some extension in that upper back. But really you're just looking to massage the tight areas. Do this for a minimum of 30 seconds, but if you find that there's an area that's tight, you can stick on that area longer. You're trying to massage the tight muscle and trying to loosen up that tissue. So it's important to note if you've watched some other videos of mine that, if you're dealing with also neck, upper back, and shoulder pain, an exercise like this is going to be helpful. This just shows you how the body's connected, because if you're having tightness in your upper back, it's going to affect your low back, it's going to affect your neck, it's going to affect your shoulders. So although this video is focused on mobility exercises for your low back, some of these will help other areas as well. So that's the first exercise. Like I said, do it for at least 30 seconds, but try to find the tight tissue back there and loosen it up. The next one is another exercise focused on just increasing your chest mobility, help with posture, which is also going to affect your low back. So you just lay over the foam roll like this, and then put your arms out to the side, palms facing up, and you're just laying here and relaxing. Make sure your feet are bent up so that your back is supported. You should feel this stretch in your chest and a little bit in your arms. But I recommend just holding it here, breathing for about a minute to 2 minutes, and just feeling the stretch. Okay? So those are two good upper back mobility and stretching exercises that you can do that will help affect your low back and keep your low back healthy. The other stretches I want to show you are geared towards your hips, which include, like I said, your hamstrings, your hip flexors, and your glutes. So the first stretch is a hamstring stretch. And to do this, I recommend just having a strap. This is kind of a band. It's got to be tight if you're using a band, but you can use a towel, a belt, a dog leash, really anything works. You just lay down, loop the strap around your foot, and then just lift the leg nice and slow until you feel a stretch in the back of your leg. You want to hold it for about 30 seconds. You can hold it up to a minute, but if you're going to hold it for 30 seconds, then you can lower back down. And you can do you can do 2 to 3 sets for 30 seconds. You're just trying to feel a light stretch in your hamstring. There shouldn't be any pain or tension in your low back. It's really important though to keep this leg as straight as you can and keep the bottom leg straight. You don't want to lift up and bend the knee. I'd rather you just lift up as far as you can, keeping that knee straight. Okay? And then obviously you would want to do both sides because you want symmetry. And you also want to know, is one side really tight compared to the other? If that's the case, spend just a little more time stretching the tight side. Like I said, you should just feel a light stretch in the back of the leg. You may feel it in the back of the knee, and you may feel a little bit in the calf. That's fine, but you shouldn't feel any tension in your low back. Okay? So that's a good hamstring stretch. The next stretch I'll show you is a glute stretch. So you can do this one laying down on your back. Start with your knees bent up, and then if I want to stretch this glute or this hip, I'm going to cross the foot over, and then from here I'm just going to lift the knee up, and I'm going to reach. I'm either going to grab the back of my thigh or the front of my shin. But you want to keep your head supported and just relax. You should feel this stretch through that glute muscle right there. And you should not feel it in your low back. You should just feel a light to medium stretch. Hold for about 30 seconds. The same thing, you can come back down. You can do a couple sets for 30 seconds, or you can hold it for a longer period of time. Whatever is more comfortable for you. And then you would want to switch sides. Now, if you have trouble reaching through and grabbing this thigh, then you can use a strap like this and just kind of loop it around, and then you can pull the strap and help yourself lift the leg. But if you go to this position too and you feel a stretch already, just stop there and then as you loosen up, you'll be able to go further. So you kind of pick the version that works for you. Okay, and now the last stretch I'm going to show you is a hip flexor stretch. And your hip flexor is just the top part of your thigh, the front of your thigh. So the big muscle is your quad, and then it comes and it becomes your hip flexor. And to stretch the hip flexor, if I'm stretching this hip flexor, it's going to be back. I get in this half kneeling position, and then from here, I want to kind of tuck my pelvis underneath me, squeeze my back glute, so that engages my core. And you should, some people will feel a stretch already, and then you just hold it. If you don't feel the stretch, you can kind of lean forward, push this hip forward, but it's important not to arch your back. You want to keep that core engaged, and you should feel the stretch here. If your knee is uncomfortable, you can put a pillow underneath it. And same thing, you want to hold it for about 30 seconds. You can back off a bit, do another one for 30 seconds, or you can alternate back and forth. If you have trouble balancing in this position, just hold on to a wall or have a stick. But something you want to make sure your pelvis is tilted back, this glute squeezed, and you're feeling the stretch in your hip flexor. You're not feeling anything in your back. Okay? So those are, that was 5 mobility exercises and stretches that you can do on a consistent basis to help either maintain the health of your low back, or if you're dealing with back pain, those are things you can try to implement to help relieve your symptoms. Now, if any of them bother you, if any of them, the position's hard to get into, or you can't do it correctly, or it causes tension or pain in your low back, you would just hold off on it and do the ones that you can do well that feel good. So, hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, let me know as always, but I'll see you next time.